Coogee, New South Wales. Coogee, a beachside suburb of local government area City of Randwick 8 kilometres southeast of the Sydney Central Business District, in the state of New South Wales, Australia. It is also a part of the Eastern Suburbs region. The Tasman Sea and Coogee Bay along with Coogee Beach lie towards the eastern side of the suburb. The beach is popular among families and famous for its safe swimming conditions. The boundaries of Coogee are formed mainly by Clovelly Road, Carrington Road and Rainbow Street, with arbitrary lines drawn to join these thoroughfares to the coast in the northeast and southeast corners. History. Aboriginal. The name Coogee is said to be taken from a local Aboriginal word Coogee, which means smelly place. Another version is Coochai or Coogee, both of which mean the smell of the seaweed drying in the Bidigal language or stinking seaweed, a reference to the smell of decaying kelp washed up on the beach. Early visitors to the area, from the 1820s onwards, were never able to confirm exactly what Coogee meant, or if it in fact related to Coogee Beach. Some evidence suggests that the word Coogee may in fact be the original Aboriginal place name for the next bay to the north, now known as Gordon's Bay. Another name, Bobroy, was also recalled as the indigenous name for the locality. The Aboriginal population had largely relocated by the mid-19th century after being decimated by disease and violent clashes with early settlers, though some Aboriginal people still live in the area today. European settlement. Coogee was gazetted as a village in 1838. The first school was built in 1863, and the building was converted into the Coogee Bay Hotel in 1873. 3 years later, Coogee Public School was established. Baths there were the only place swimming was permitted in daylight hours. Ocean swimming was not widely commented upon. In late 1887, Coogee Palace Aquarium and swimming baths were constructed. The Coogee Pleasure Pier, a large attraction including a theatre, restaurant, and ballroom, was constructed in 1928, but was later demolished in 1934. Coogee was connected to the city of Sydney by electric tram in 1902. The suburb's popularity as a seaside resort was then guaranteed. The line branched from the line to Clovelly at Coogee Road in Randwick. It ran down King Street beside the Randwick tram workshops, then ran in its own reservation to Belmore Road. It then ran down Perrouse Road, St. Paul's Street, Carr Street, and Arden Street, before terminating in a balloon loop in Dolphin Street at Coogee Beach. It ran through several small tram reservations on its way down from Randwick to the beach. The line from Randwick to Coogee opened in 1883, and electric services were introduced in 1902. The line closed in 1960. It follows the current route of Bus 373. Sections of the disused tramways are now maintained by local residents as a community garden. The Coogee Surf Life Saving Club was founded in 1907 by local people who believed swimmers needed protection from the dangers of the surf. The CSLC prides itself on being a pioneer in the realm of surf life saving. In fact, the first mass rescue, night surf carnival, shark attack, and the development of the resuscitation technique are attributed to the CSLSC. In 2017, a lost and found room, first aid room, kiosk, surfboard store room, and amenities were finished building. It was closed in 2020 because of COVID-19 and is unknown when is going to reopen. Built in the early 1890s and occupied by a Mrs. T.M. Cock, was a large mansion known as Maidstone, which stands in Waltham Street, beside St. Brigid's Church. The house features a metal cupola and cedar fittings inside. The Catholic Church bought the building in 1922, and it was restored to its original style, by Provincial House of the Missionaries of the Sacred Heart. Located in Allison Road is a two-story Federation mansion named Ocean View. The house was built in 1916 by Philip Worth of Worth's Circus and is heritage listed. Other notable buildings in the area include Rosslyn, a large Italianate house in Arcadia Street. It is heritage listed. Coogee Palace Aquarium 1887–1986. The Coogee Aquarium swimming baths were officially opened on 23 December 1887. It covered a block of land bordered by Arden Street, Beach Street, Bream Street, and Dolphin Street. The palace included an indoor swimming pool 25 x 10 meters, an aquarium featuring the tiger shark from the famous shark arm case, a great hall that could be used as a roller skating rink. Canadian toboggan ran down the hillside for over 70 meters, and a herd of 14 donkeys to ride, as well as swings, whirligigs, rocking horses, toy boats, aviaries, flower beds, bandstand, and an open-air bar. In June 1945, a strong storm caused the large dome to collapse. In 1987, the Coogee Palace and Dome was rebuilt and converted to restaurants and bars. The former hotel on the premises was owned by investment banker David Kingston and was known both as the Beach Palace Hotel and the Aquarium. In August 2014, the building reopened as the Coogee Pavilion in a $30 million plus renovation by the Marian Group and its director Justin Hems. The Coogee Pier 1928–1934. In 1924, construction started on an English seaside-style amusement pier at Coogee Beach. On 24 July 1928, the pier was officially opened, reaching 180 meters out into the sea, complete with a 1,400-seat theater, a 600-capacity ballroom, a 400-seat restaurant upstairs, small shops, and a penny machine arcade. Unfortunately, Coogee's rough surf damaged the pier, and it was demolished in 1934. Lifeguards recently discovered remains of the pier on the ocean floor about 50 meters out from shore. Shark Arm Murder Case 1935. The shark arm case refers to an incident at the Coogee Aquarium baths in 1935, when a captured tiger shark regurgitated a human arm. The arm belonged to a missing person, James Smith. The arm had been cut off, which led to a murder investigation. Nobody was ever charged over the murder, although another local criminal, Reginald Holmes, was found shot in a car near the Sydney Harbour Bridge the day before the inquest into Smith's death was due to start. Alleged Marian apparition 2003. In January 2003, it was noticed that one of the fence rails on Dolphin Point, just north of Coogee Beach, when viewed from a particular angle and distance, resembled a veiled woman. A local laundrette was one of the first to draw attention to it and set up a gallery of photos to attract visiting pilgrims. When this example of pareidolia, a human tendency to perceive vague visual stimuli as human faces, was reported in newspapers, many Christians, predominantly Roman Catholic, came daily to worship what they interpreted as an apparition of Mary. No particular supernatural powers were attributed to the shadow dubbed Our Lady of the Fence Post by the media, Aquarium Mary, and interest waned within a few weeks. The section of fence that created the image was destroyed by vandals within days of it being publicized, although the local council had the fence replaced. While some continued to petition the Catholic Church and the New South Wales government to build a chapel, their claims were not seriously considered. The garden at the shrine is still maintained by an older local man, and pilgrims in prayer are sighted at the spot. Heritage listings. Coogee has a number of heritage-listed sites, including 4551 Beach Street, Cliffbrook; Grant Reserve, McIver Women's Baths; Ford Neptune Street, Wiley's Baths; Transport. Sydney's steam tramways first reached Coogee in 1883 and were electrified in 1902. The trams were replaced by buses from time to time in the 1940s and 1950s as the infrastructure suffered severe neglect during and after World War II. The tracks were deemed too expensive to repair and the power supply was so inadequate that trams would grind to a halt in inconvenient locations. Eventually, the entire Sydney tram network was scrapped and replaced by buses. The last trams ran to Coogee in 1960. There are usually many taxis in the area, and there is a late-night taxi rank on Friday and Saturday nights, just behind the main bus stand on Arden Street. The suburb is now well served by buses. There is a bus interchange at the beach with 3 stands. The following outlines routes and their stands. Main stand Arden Street, near Coogee Beach, eastern side. 313 Bondi Junction, via Carrington RD. 314 Bondi Junction via Waverley. 353 East Gardens via Marlborough. 370 Leichhardt via Newtown. 372 Railway SQ via Cleveland St. 373 City Circular Quay via Taylor Square runs 24/7. X73 City Museum Express North Stand Arden St. and Ardolphin St. Eastern Side. 374 City Circular Quay via Central Station. X74 City Museum Express Oval Stand Arden St. and Ardolphin St. Western Side. 353 Bondi Junction via Clovelly and Waverley. 362 Bondi Beach via Bront October-April weekends only. Geography and landmarks. Coogee Bay Road runs from Randwick to Coogee Beach, which is relatively protected through its formation as a bay. The surrounding coastline is mostly cliffs, decreasing in height down to the beach in the western part of the bay. The bay is sheltered from the roughest seas by Wedding Cake Island, a rocky reef about 800 off the southern headland. There is an annual swimming event around the island in November. The beach itself drops off rapidly at the edge of the water, which can result in a dangerous shore break, particularly when the surf is large. The combination of this shore break and high visitor numbers mean that Coogee has more spinal injuries than any other Australian beach. In larger surf, there are often rip currents at both the northern end and at the southern ends, and also quite frequently in the center of the beach. These are simply the places where the incoming water escapes most naturally. It is claimed by some locals that the rip in the center of the beach is partly caused by the remaining foundations of the old entertainment pier C above history. At the northern end of the beach are stairs leading from Dolphin Point down to the old Giles Baths. This is now an open rock pool carved out of the surrounding rocks. This area is now known as Dolphin Point. The doorway and a 4-meter high bronze sculpture serve as a memorial to 20 of the Australian victims of the 2002 Bali bombing, who were residents of Coogee and its neighbouring suburbs, including 6 members of the Coogee Dolphins rugby league team. A short walk further to the north is Gordon's Bay, which is a popular location for snorkeling. At the southern end is the Ross Jones Memorial Pool just below the Coogee Surf Life Saving Club. Also at the southern end are 2 small reefs, the inner and the outer. Further south is a coastal walk that goes past the Women's Baths and Wiley's Baths. Coogee is one of Australia's more densely populated areas, with apartment buildings in every style from the 1930s onwards. Some freestanding houses remain. The suburb is a popular destination for tourists, particularly backpackers. The Coogee Bay Hotel is an important local landmark. Demographics. At the 2016 census, there were 15,212 residents in Coogee. The most common ancestries in Coogee were English 24, 2% Australian 16, 4% Irish 13, 0% Scottish 6, 9% and Italian 3, 2%, 54. 3% of people were born in Australia. The next most common countries of birth were England 8, 2%, Ireland 3, 7% New Zealand 2, 7% United States of America 1, 6% and Brazil 1, 4%, 73. 2% of people only spoke English at home. Other languages spoken at home included French 2, 0% Spanish 1, 6% Greek 1, 5% Portuguese 1, 4% and German 1, 1%. The most common responses for religion were no religion, so described 36, 5% and Catholic 26, 1%. Sport and recreation. Coogee is represented in one of the most popular sporting competitions in Australia, the National Rugby League. The Esdolf has represented the area in the league since 1908, in line with the Articles of Association of the New South Wales Rugby League, which identify the Randwick municipality as being part of the territory of the Roosters. Local rugby league teams representing the Coogee area include the Coogee Dolphins and Coogee Wombats. Randwick District Rugby Union Football Club resides in Brook Street, Coogee, and plays their home games across the road at Coogee Oval. Randwick currently competes in all grades of the New South Wales Rugby Shute Shield competition. Randwick First Roman 15 Shute Shield home games are often broadcast to local Sydney audiences on AB Cone at 3 p.m. on Saturdays. Coogee United Football Club is one of the largest football clubs in the eastern suburbs of Sydney, with senior teams. Coogee White Tigers Football Club is known as the local football development club training youth player aged 3 years to 15 years old, as is also well as international football partners with Celtic FC Glasgow, Scotland. Coogee Surf Life Saving Club has competed in both branch and state as well as national competitions since its founding in 1907, and continues a strong presence in all 3 areas of competition today. The club's Surf Carnival is held annually in February each year. The Surf Club fosters and supports many other water-oriented sport and recreation clubs, including the Coogee Minnows Junior Life-Saving/Nipper Club, Coogee Triathlon Club, the Coogee Board Riders, as well as supporting swimming groups such as the Coogee Penguins. The nearby Wiley's Baths, an historic coastal pool facility, has been a longtime supporter of Coogee's water-based sports and recreation. The Coogee Penguins Winter Swimming Club compete against Bondi Icebergs Winter Swimming Club, South Maroubra Dolphins Winter Swimming Club, Cronulla Polar Bears Winter Swimming Club, Maroubra Seals Winter Swimming Club, Coolangatta Surf Life Saving Club, Clovelly Eskimos Winter Swimming Club. The Coogee Beach Volleyball Association resides at the northern end of the beach, with the council authorization to set up 5 portable nets along the promenade. Schools. Coogee has a primary school, Coogee Public School. Festivals and events. The Island Challenge, held in the last weekend in November by the Coogee Surf Life Saving Club, involves a 2.4 km swim out and around Wedding Cake Island off Coogee Beach. The race began in 2000, attracts hundreds of competitors, and is a prominent fixture on the Sydney ocean swimming scene. Participants may also compete in a 1 km shorter swim, and for participants under the age of 12, an 800 dash is also held. The Coogee Arts Festival in February is a series of open-air events held in the parklands above the southern side of Coogee Beach. It features theatre performances and a small film festival. The annual Coogee Family Fun Day is the first Saturday of every December, held by the Coogee Chamber of Commerce. It features amusement rides and stalls next to the beach. Coogee carols are held on the weekend prior to Christmas at Goldstein Reserve, opposite Coogee Beach. The event has been staged annually since 2002. Putu Mayam Day is the first of its kind outside of Malaysia. On the first of every month, one can indulge in the world-famous Putu Mayam rice noodles accompanied by shaved coconut and brown sugar on the coastal edge of Coogee Beach. Politics. Coogee is part of the City of Randwick, forming the East Ward together with Clovelly. It lies in the federal electorate of Kingsford Smith, which covers all of southeast Sydney. Historically, Coogee has been part of the Wentworth and then the Philp electorates. Coogee is located in the state electorate of Coogee, which also includes the suburbs of Randwick, Waverley, Clovelly, Bront, and Bondi Junction. After the 2011 state election held on 26 March 2011, Paul Pierce lost the seat of Coogee in a landslide to Liberal candidate and former City of Randwick Mayor Bruce Notley Smith. Coogee is currently represented by the Australian Labor Party at both the federal level and the state level.